Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another cryptocurrency video. Today I'm going to be talking about the digital gold exchange as well as the TMTG coin. Just as a disclaimer, this video is sponsored. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a further look into this really exciting project. So first of all, I should mention that TMTG stands for the Midas Touch Gold. And you're going to see that there are two separate coins, one utility and one that's based as a more stable coin. So basically, if you haven't gotten the idea right with the gold, is to combine kind of both the virtual world and the real world that has a tangible asset basically, right? So as you can see here, the company is the Digital Gold Exchange, and they've been in business since 2006. Now they have their cryptocurrency, TMTG, and of course the ecosystem platform, which is the digital gold exchange itself. And they're also going to be working on more interactive things like crypto games such as Crypto Dino. So you can look forward to that in the future for more interactivity and truly an ecosystem being built around this. For now, many of the developers are focusing on the coin tech, so the uses are still limited, but that will change in the future. Now, they also won awards. They got the global issue for 2018 in Seoul, Korea, and they have a lot of listing announcements. So that's something that I wanted to talk about here. They are actually already listed as of recently. They had their ICO a while back very successfully, and they just recently listed on IDCM. So if we take a look at the coin trend, we can see that it got a nice increase, and it's currently stabilizing very well, holding up nicely. If we zoom out just a bit, you'll see that huge run up, right? And now we're just in a consolidation phase. If we're able to get back above 24K, we could see another huge run up, right? And the team is very ambitious. As you can see, TMTG aims to rank in top 5 in market value, right? That would mean a market cap of above $15 billion. So that would be huge growth from where we're currently sitting. Price action is very interesting right now. And with that being said, I also wanted to mention their plans to implement a payback system on the digital gold exchange platform, right? This is a really cool addition, I think. So basically, as you can see here, they mention a bit of information about the project and the exchange. But what you have to know is that the DGE payback system aims to return a portion of transaction fees to the users. And basically, they decided to implement this system to create an ecosystem that benefits both the developers and the users, right? So they're really thinking about the win-win situations for all parties involved. Now, over here you can see that the users will be charged with a transaction fee first, and the payback rate will be determined by the conditions set by DGE. The payback will be made to users' accounts in TMTG. Now, 70% of the payback will be made in installments to all the users who hold TMTG in their accounts, and there'll also be a certain amount of that 30% that'll go towards referrals, right? That's how that payback system will actually work. Now, going back to the main website here and looking further into the Midas Touch Gold coin, I really like their motto, which basically says that it's the intersection of virtual values and reality. Now, basically, right, they're combining asset value of gold and even other things like diamond and stuff like that down the line. So they're combining tangible asset value with blockchain technology for this coin, and you'll see in more detail about the white paper. But this is really cool stuff. So here they mention how people like things that are more safe and secure, and that basically the idea here is to expand upon real gold, which is already a tangible value asset, taking its potential to the next step of unlimited possibilities with cryptocurrency, right? So it's a combination that kind of makes perfect sense when you think about it, right? And really simplifies the whole process here. Now, we can see that the idea, and of course this is through blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, but basically secure data is key here, right? And that's because blockchain runs on a consensus data synced by all participating nodes in the network, And so that provides a fail-safe on information, right? So that's where the security comes into play. Now we also have smart contracts for data integrity and transparency, and we also have the proof of ownership, right? POO. So that's like a voucher, basically MDG, which we're going to talk about in more detail, but that's where the tangible value comes in, and that gives the owner the right to claim and receive gold in offline gold trading hubs and retail stores, right? So if you're a little bit confused about that, we're gonna talk in more detail during the white paper about what MDG is. But moving forward, we can see that the digital gold exchange is an online offline electronic digital gold exchange using the TMTG coin itself, right? So here they have a focus on security and stability, the smart exchange system, and establishing technical value, right? So in this infograph right here, we get to see the ecosystem at play. And basically, what you'll notice is a couple things, right? First off, it creates a real commodity market where TMTG and MDG transactions are securely backed by the blockchain ecosystem, right? We also have the DGE, Digital Gold Exchange, that can be used to purchase not only gold but other precious raw materials in the near future. That's what I mentioned with diamonds and even more, which I'll be talking about in more detail later on in this video. We also have services that will be expanded to cover areas where using cryptocurrency makes daily lives more convenient, right? So just to get an idea of the actual exchange itself, we've got the user that transacts with the digital gold exchange for gold and other transactions. On the other side, we have the digital gold exchange itself, right? The app and the web platform. We also have, of course, linked to the digital gold exchange, their partners like Happy Money and their partner here, Korea Gold Exchange, right? Franchise affiliates and international trades. They have many partners as of right now and much more in the future. I'll talk about that as well later on in this video. So the user, of course, has the coin transaction with the exchange and the exchange with the DGE and the ICO. And of course, in between here, we got identity and access management coin transactions, right? That's all those security features and transparency that we talked about at the beginning of this video, right? So I'm not going to get into the details here on this infographic. It's more technical, but what you have to know is that they have the crypto exchange, right? So they're planning to establish a realistic and stable exchange system for TMTG based on various virtual currencies and currencies of various countries, right? So crypto to crypto exchanges will also be developed as part of the digital gold exchange platform. And they also have a fiat to crypto exchange, right? That's the ability to easily and quickly check market prices, as well as conducting fast coin to cash transactions anytime and anywhere should be one of the most critical factors that cryptocurrency should have, right? It makes sense. And they will connect and facilitate conversions with respect to USD as well as HKD and the Korean won. Now, here they talk about the product crypto systems. So, like I mentioned, right, there's the TMTG coin and the MDG coin. So basically, you can sell TMTG to actually buy MDG, right? That's the stable coin that we talked about that has that tangible gold value. And then you can sell MDG to get actual real gold, right? And like I said, we're going to talk about that in much more detail in the white paper itself. Now, moving on to the decentralized exchange, that's where we're going to see all the smart contracts run and that whole structure there. This is what this infographic is about. Now, moving on to the strategic partnership proposition, they mention, you know, the current issues with virtual currency exchanges, things like complicated verifications, server breakdowns, and also some weaknesses of blockchain. Now, here they also talk about the advantages, right? Improved security. The distributed ledger technology can help with that encrypted data and value, right? And reinforce security. Also have fast transactions. That's absolutely huge in a marketplace like that. Cost reduction, right? The cost will be minimized because of the central server. And of course, improved transparency by monitoring the real-time exchange of the network participants, and the transparency in exchange includes the know your customer. Now, here they mention some of the value propositions. So first off, they have a simple and verified asset model, right? So TMTG is the first virtual currency model to pave the asset bridge to real gold. They also have a profit creation business model, right? So DGE is a for-profit platform. The growth engine is precious metals such as gold are a reliable commodity, and because of this, the DGE ecosystem can grow exponentially without losing its continuous growth. Talking about the asset itself, right? They also have a total asset backup. So TMTG and DGE are made of the factors which are able to be utilized and exchanged in the field of commerce. And finally, a strong cash reserve. That's something that you'll see in the white paper. Is an amount to reserve cash is always kept under watch and derived from complex economical, functional, and mathematical algorithms. So getting to the roadmap, and you're going to see a lot of upcoming listings and partnerships here. So really cool stuff ahead. But if we take a look in August 2018, that's when they listed at the beginning of the month, right, on the IDCM exchange, which I already talked about here. And they also have numerous listings that are upcoming. So in later in August, the 16th, we're going to see the Coin Super listing and exchange opening. For September 2018, it's going to be Coinbean. That's going to be at the beginning of the month as well. And later in September, the 16th, it's going to be the CoinZip exchange opening. Now, December 2018, we're going to see the Open Digital Gold Exchange platform. And for February 2019, that's when they're going to start diamond trading, right? That's what's scheduled. For Q4 2019, they're going to start application of sidechain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, Cardano. That's what's scheduled. And for Q2 2020, mainnet test start, which is planned, right? So I wanted to talk about the team here, the developers. Huge team, a lot of people with years of experience working at big companies. If you're interested in the project, I definitely think you should take a look at who's on board. But I'm just really happy to see a team like this behind the project. And at the end of the day, that's really what's going to count is the developers here. And like you saw, the list is extensive. Now, they also have an extensive list of partners, some that we already talked about, like the Korea Gold Exchange, Happy Money, Val Diamonds, and many more as well as right now and in the future, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the white paper itself now, just to talk a little bit about their vision. Basically, the TMTG project aims for a hyper-connected society and to construct an ecosystem that achieves effective values of real things through decentralized blockchain, right? And like I said before, that combination really makes perfect sense. Now, as the first step, TMTG project will establish an ecosystem with a virtual currency with value that can be directly traded for actual goods. This is the vision of the TMTG project. Now, to give a bit of a background, they thought deeply about how virtual money could bring value to the everyday lives of many people, and as a result and solution to their deliberation, they focused on gold, which is used and its value is recognized worldwide as monetary and property assets. And that's how they got the beginning of the TMTG project, right? Now, there are three main components to the TMTG project, and there's some important distinctions to make. So first off, we have the TMTG token itself, right? And that's actually issued to be like virtual money, and basically the TMTG coins will serve as the medium for maintaining and vitalizing the digital gold exchange ecosystem. And this token is not pegged to any tangible asset, including gold. It only works as a means to purchase other cryptocurrencies on the DGE platform, right? So the TMD tokens are not related to any asset price, and it's a utility token, so it's used only as a means of purchasing virtual currency on the DGE platform, right? However, in contrast, we have the MDG token, which we briefly talked about, and that is only tradable on the DGE platform, which is pegged to 1 gram of gold as a certificate. Now, MDG token is representative of real gold, so the price is actually associated with the price of gold at the time of purchase, right? And MDG tokens can be purchased on the DGE platform with TMTG tokens. That's what I mentioned previously. And of course, the third component of the project is the digital gold exchange itself, right? And that's where all the transactions are made, right? TMTG tokens can be used to purchase MDG tokens or real gold, right, for the MDG tokens themselves. Now, let's move on, talk a little bit about the fact that TMTG is not a security, it's a utility token, and it's the currency circulation in the DGD decentralized exchange platform. Now, MDG is the gold peg token, and that's where the store of value comes in, right? So that's the important distinction to make there between the two. And the DG platform will start with gold, eventually expand to other precious metals such as diamonds, white gold, and platinum. So that's where we can see, the expansion coming into play. Now I want to talk a bit about the core here. So they've got dispersed asset values. By establishing an independent global asset ecosystem and releasing gold and tokens, users are able to securely store and build their assets in a convenient trading environment. They also have P2P trade, right, which means that without intermediary intervention, users can trade directly with each other quickly, safely, and at their desired values. They also have convenient use all over the world, meaning that although there will be a small fixed charge for transactions, you can change your currency into real gold safely through the DGE platform in any part of the world, including Korea and other affiliated countries and regions, right? That's where their partnerships come into play, and that's something that we'll be discussing further into this white paper. Now, briefly, for the platform structure, we have official transactions at market price. We've got conversions, sales into other value entities. Of course, smart contracts, which we already talked about. An easy and simple system. It's not supposed to be complex, and the fact that you can access it at any time, right? You just need access to the internet. Now, let's talk about the TMTG token coin specifications. So basically, for the issuance term, we have a total issuance of 10 billion, an ICO issuance of 2 billion, right? Same number that's the token sold, a hard cap of 40,000 ETH, soft cap of 10,000 ETH, and the project protocol is indeed an ERC20 token, and the currency accepted is ETH, right? Now that was for the ICO. Now moving forward, this is one of the more interesting parts of the white paper, which is the proof of ownership, POO. Now, in order for the owner of a digital gold to exchange them for real gold and an offline gold exchange, the owner must prove that he is the sole owner of the digital gold, right? That's a security measure. Now, the digital gold exchange now allows you to implement a modified mnemonic signature sign in your app to help prove ownership easily on your smartphone, right? So that's what we have right here on these pictures, just as an example. For the value realization, that will be done through working with reliable companies, real-time sharing of information of trade and market price all over the world, realization of global transactions by constructing a hyper-connected platform, as well as assurance of fairness and transparency of all transactions and contracts, right? They also have a number of partnerships, some primary partnerships that we already talked about, such as the Korea Gold Exchange, and they also have Happy Money Company. Now, what I wanted to mention is that they have additional expandability, right? That means more partnerships down the line, which they are looking for. And they also have secondary partnership contracts, which are already accomplished. And those are things such as Vo Diamonds, right? So that's the supply contract that they mentioned previously to add diamonds down the line, and something that's, a great addition, I think. Now, of course, with this type of system, you're going to need transparency through internal control, right? So the stability of coins is promoted through the safeguard deposit policy. And basically what that means is that the profits are protected by preventing excessive sales of coins by major stockholders and associated personnel after the coins are listed on an exchange. And that prevents sale of over 30% of their coins for 1 year, right? So there's a big 70% safeguard deposit, right? They also have a mandatory disclosure, which will be a deposit reserve ratio disclosure quarterly, right? Moving on to the strategy for the distribution of the tokens, we're going to see a lot of it go to, for the plan fund use, right? huge amount towards the reserve fund. That's what I mentioned previously in this video, and that's to keep that stability there as yet another added security measure. And talking about that security and stability, they have three things to play with there. So the development of an AI trading system, employment of professional securities traders, and affiliation and collaboration agreements signed with domestic robo-advisor solution companies. With that being said, this completes my review for the TMTG and the TMTG project and the digital gold exchange. Thanks again for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time.